I don't know what's going on in the world right now. It seems that every time I turn my big ass head around, there's a new story unfolding of a teacher getting freaky with one of her students. And it's all happening at once. It's like something out of the Bible to signal a doomsday or an apocalypse. Now, today we're going to be talking about this crazy saga that has been the tale of TikToker Audrianna Williams. Now, for those of you that don't know who Audrianna Williams is, she goes by the name Audrey Will on TikTok, who was famous for doing TikTok dances. And, she really became viral for being a high school cheer coach that rapped. And she gained a lot of views, and she has well over 600,000 followers on TikTok. So she's massive. And her bio reads lifestyle, family, and faith. And I don't know what it is about bios like this, but every single time I see one, I just know that they are up to no good, because just last year, this same chick was arrested for not one, but two counts of sexual assault on a student. And when this happened, it definitely sent shockwaves around the internet, but a lot of people wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt and we're saying things like, oh, it's probably some people who want money out of her, or something like that, right? And the story kind of went away. However, recently, news broke that a grand jury has just indicted her, and she is facing 2 counts of first-degree sexual contact by an employee or agent. Take a look at this.
At 6, a grand jury has indicted Audrianna Cobb-Williams, the former Daugherty County teacher, arrested on 2 counts of sexual assault of a student in December of last year.
According to the indictment, Audrianna Cobb-Williams is facing 2 counts of sexual contact by employee or agent in the first degree. The indictment says, quote, Audrianna Cobb-Williams, an employee of Monroe High School, did knowingly kiss a student in violation of Georgia code, end quote. It continued to say she also, quote, did knowingly perform a sexual act with the student whom said accused knew was enrolled as a student, contrary to the laws of the state, end quote.
We must protect the integrity both of our educators and our children. The way that a community protects its senior citizens, its disabled persons, and its children, is reflective of the character of the community.
Some may remember Cobb-Williams from her viral back-to-school rap video she made back in 2020 with another teacher at Monroe Comprehensive High School. DA Edwards says the next step is for the case to go to trial, and if Cobb-Williams is found guilty, she could face up to 10 years in prison for each count.
Wow, that's a lot of time. But just to go over what the indictment says for a second, the indictment says Audrianna Cobb-Williams, an employee of Monroe High School, did knowingly kiss a student, which is a violation of Georgia code. It also stated that Williams did knowingly perform a sexual act. Now, whatever that is, we can only guess, but I have my theory, but it is what it is. With the student whom said accused knew was enrolled as a student, contrary to the laws of the state. This is craziness. And it's crazy because this woman is married with a child. Cheating on your husband is one thing, but cheating on him with a child is a disgrace on a whole nother level. At this point, I'm sure he would rather you cheat on him with his brother than cheat on him with a kid. That is extremely foul. And the crazy part is that she just keeps posting away, right, on her social media, like on her TikTok and all that, as if nothing's going on. She's just burying her head in the sand and grinding out content as if she isn't in the middle of a sexual assault investigation. Like everything is cool. I just don't understand what the hell is being taught in these teacher colleges anymore. And the wild part about it is, I went to a college that actually specialized in education or was known for being a teacher's college. Right? Their education program was top notch. And so I've seen firsthand these kinds of students that go and get these teaching degrees. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that I am truly shocked at the amount of times I see women being put on blast for doing this type of predatory and disgusting shit. Now, to walk you guys back a little bit, right, to kind of turn back the annals of time here, it was exposed that these incidents that she is currently being indicted for allegedly happened at a gas station and a bowling alley between November 1st and December 2nd of 2023, so last year. Now, once the school started to obtain more evidence about this relationship and caught wind of it, she thought that she was going to be smarter than them, and she tried to get out in front of it and resign from the school while she was put on administrative leave. However, the school was already going to fire her anyway once they launched an investigation into this. Now, once they launched the investigation, the school decided to send reports about this to the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. Now, for those who don't know who the GPSC is, they are the ones who set and apply guidelines for the preparation, certification, and continued licensing of public educators in Georgia. Which means one thing and one thing only, ladies and gentlemen, they were trying to go after her license because of this. And rightfully so, because last time I checked, you're supposed to teach the kids, not fuck them. Now, there are a couple pictures floating around out there, on the internet of who this boy is that she was apparently in a relationship with. But obviously, I'm not going to, put the kid on the Jumbotron, put him on blast here. But I will share with you the pics that clearly show Audrianna and this student pretty hugged up and very much so inappropriate with each other. And I just gotta say, all jokes aside for a second, her husband gotta be seriously hurt, because what on God's green earth is this kid, like this actual child, giving her that this grown man can't, that her husband can't? Because not only did she cheat, but she embarrassed herself. And the only reason this evidence is even floating around out here on the internet in the first place is because Audrianna here, this nasty ass, trifling ass predator, left her iPad out, and one of her cheer students went through it, saw the photos, and leaked them onto their close friends on Instagram. At least that's the story that a lot of people are running with, especially people that went to the school. And, that's what's being reported out there. But regardless of how this shit got out, it shouldn't have been going on in the first place. And from the looks of it, it looks like this chick was in love with this kid. She's smiling and cheesing harder with this kid than she is with her own damn husband and child. And if I didn't know any better, I would look at this and think that's his girlfriend, not his teacher or someone at the school who's a part of the staff or the faculty. That would never cross my mind looking at this. But what's even more sick were the people that were defending this, saying shit like anybody who reports on it or talks about it is just clout chasing and, it's not that big of a deal and all that. And it's the same old tired ass takes when it is someone who people like, like a creator or something like this, content creator, TikTok or whoever, and people who like them and they worship the ground that they walk on and can't think for themselves for 1 second to realize that they are in fact defending a pedophile, like in every sense of the word here. And the fact that this is concerning a female teacher is almost like people were wanting to sweep this under the rug, especially people who went to the actual school that she was teaching at. And that's bullshit to me, because if this were a male teacher doing this very same thing with a girl student, this would be talked about on every news station around the world. So best believe me when I tell you, I'm going to keep the same energy here. Anybody can get this work. I don't care if you male or female. If you a piece of shit, then you a piece of shit. Period. It doesn't matter the gender. And quiet as kept, I've been seeing more female teachers engaging in this kind of bullshit than I have male teachers. I mean, we can really talk about it. It's like almost every week I see another female teacher involved in a story like this. It's a rampant problem in the schools all over the country right now, and it's gotta stop. This cannot keep happening. Like, y'all need to bring back them 70-plus-year-old teachers and those 380-pound teachers that wear the tablecloth dresses. And nobody ever had a problem with them, all right? And nobody ever had a problem with Miss Bertha or, Miss Glorietta or none of them. With this whole situation, it just feels like this teacher had low self-esteem and was seeking validation from children. And honestly, it looked like she was even thinking like a kid, right? Like she was behaving like a kid, just judging by her TikTok content and all of that. It just seemed like she was just really acting like a kid herself, not a grown ass woman who was actually, a teacher who was married and had a child. Like, you would think that she was a damn kid herself. And again, I can't keep stressing this, but she has a son herself. So she has a child and she was in a whole relationship with one. Insane, man. Now, the husband, when this whole investigation first popped off, he obviously, like any husband would, went to bat for her and defended her and said that, you know, he was going to stick beside her and all of that. But now that she's currently being indicted and could face up to 20 years in prison for this, he has limited the comments on his Instagram and has slowly but surely started to delete pictures and videos of him and Audrianna together. You know, there's still some content up there with them, and you know, as a husband myself, I can understand not wanting to completely give up hope, but how can you go defending this? Like you can't. You low key would rather her cheat with another teacher at the school than what she was doing. Like, that's a lot easier to digest, you know, as a husband, you know what I mean, as a man, than what is currently transpiring right now. And how the hell do you even explain this to the kid, to the son, when he grows up? But like I said, the next steps here are that this case is going to go to trial. And if she is found guilty, which all signs do point in that direction, she could definitely face up to 10 years in prison for each count. And since she is being indicted for 2 counts, then that would end up being 20 years in prison for this. So listen, I say to all you teachers out there, if you're listening to me right now, y'all have a duty to educate and prepare these kids for the world. And it's people like this chick that jeopardize that and give y'all a bad name. I know that there are amazing teachers out there. My own mother was an amazing educator and still is. Worked in almost every grade in public school, including high schools. So when I see stories like this, it really boils my blood because it really spits in the face of the amazing educators out there really putting in work to make a difference. Because it ain't like y'all getting paid $1 million, okay? You know, I mean, it ain't like y'all getting paid much to do what y'all do, and it's a very important work. So I just don't understand, you know, I don't understand what the hell is going on out here, man. But you know, it's just crazy. This is trifling. This is just some crazy ass shit. Like, why put your job and in your reputation at stake over a kid that probably don't even shower? I mean, we talking about the same kids that be running around these high schools smelling musty as hell. Never heard of a speed stick, the locker room smelling like Axe body spray. Like, yeah, those high schools. You running around doing shit with them kids. Whole hallway smell like puberty and sexy red lip gloss, and you already and you doing this shit. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. I just wanted to talk about this story. You know, I thought it was insane. And the fact that it dealt with a pretty big TikToker like this, I just had to talk about it. You know, if there are any updates in this story, I will be sure to let y'all know. But if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to like, and also don't forget to subscribe for the one time. Peace. Sheesh, people crazy, man.